Mistweaver Monk is looking to be an excellent choice for the War Within in both fun and power, but once again, we are about a month out from the War Within actually dropping, so around this time I like to make a wish list video of things that I would like to see changed, implemented, maybe buffed, things like that within this month before the War Within drops. One of the big issues and big discussions around Mistweaver is that we're kind of one of the few one hero talent tree specs where both forms of content seem to be favoring Conduit of the Celestials. And yes, this one is sick. It introduces a new cooldown that's actually pretty powerful in both forms of content. So I think it's good. This one's in a pretty solid place. I don't want to see it get nerfs anymore to things like Strength of the Black Ox, but I would love to see some buffs to Master of Harmony to kind of bring it up to the same level of Conduit. That way you have more of a decision if you're looking to push to any meaningful levels. However, that doesn't make Conduit of the Celestials immune to my wants. And one of the biggest things that I think could be changed in the Conduit of the Celestials hero talent tree, I've said it before, but when Zwin comes out to help you, when it comes out and swipes your target, I would love a better audio cue or just a very impactful audio cue, because it's very important to catch this as soon as it happens, because this is what triggers Nitzao to come and help you, or however you say those two. This is so impactful and so important to hear. So let me do it twice, and I'm going to edit in an audio cue during one of them so you can see how much better it would be. But whenever you see Zwin swipe, you'll know what I'm talking about. As you can see, it does have an audio cue, but it's very easy to miss, especially in like a Mythic Plus dungeon when there are 1,000 different things making a noise all at the same time. It's very small. It's a very minor want from me, but it's there. It's there, and I think it could improve the overall enjoyment of the spec and the overall performance of the spec. The next thing that I would like to see changed, the only other thing, is Zwin's guidance. I think it would be a lot better if the Teachings of the Monastery had a 15% chance to refund 2 charges when consumed. Since we now stack up, or we can technically stack up to 4 in sets of 2 with our Tiger Palms, it just would make sense if this would refund 2 charges, or they could buff the Tiger Palm damage by a little bit more. Let's be real, 10% to Tiger Palm is almost nothing. So those are the changes that I would like to see to Conduit of the Celestials. Now let's move over to the one that definitely needs a lot more work, and that is Master of Harmony. And I think this hero talent tree is, although I was more hyped about it at the beginning, the more I've played with it, the more I've noticed some kind of design flaws, and I think the devs have been cooking recently, and they obviously can cook up some pretty good hero talent trees. I do think this is one of the more lackluster ones in how it actually plays out when you pilot it, and a lot of that is to do with the aspect of harmony and actually this talent here, Endless Drought. Now I was very hyped about double Thunder Focus T charge, but it just does not play well with the rest of the spec. So the whole design philosophy is that you're supposed to just store up vitality from doing healing, and then whenever you unleash a Thunder Focus T, you're going to tap into that and just be this boosted version of yourself. So it encourages you to store up vitality, and once you hit that cap, maybe dropping a Thunder Focus T so that your Yulon ramp or your Chi-Ji is just more impactful, more powerful. You are just doing more healing. However, it doesn't really play like that, and part of it is because of Endless Drought. I don't think there's a problem with this talent in particular, like in an isolated scenario, but when you really play with it in aspect of harmony, you're just put in a lot of weird situations. So should you store up vitality for your next Yulon ramp, or should you use that Thunder Focus T in the 30 seconds window between your Yulon ramps? Or should you just use your second charge of Thunder Focus T right after your Yulon ramp? That way you have plenty of time before your next one to store up for your next Yulon to have full vitality to draw from. Like the timings just don't work out. You're either sitting on both stacks of your Thunder Focus T, using your second stack just willy-nilly, like on nothing, so that you just get it out of the way so you don't sit at 2 stacks later, or you're just sitting at your vitality cap and just holding off on everything until you're ready to unleash it. And that design flaw, to me, it just is a flaw. And I don't know what they could do other than like increasing the vitality cap, but then I could just see things like Purified Spirit getting out of hand. However, the next thing also has to do with Vitality, and I think this is a bug. So during your Aspect of Harmony, that window after pressing your Thunder Focus Tea, your Rising Sun Kick, you're in your other 2 single target abilities, withdraw Vitality to damage enemies. And this is just working how Aspect of Harmony usually works. So like your Rising Sun Kick will do damage with Aspect of Harmony if you press it. However, if you do proc Harmonic Gambit, it basically pokes a giant hole in the bottom of your Vitality bucket and just wastes it all. So let me build up to the Vitality cap and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so we're not quite at the cap, but I got tired of casting spells. But look, we have about 4 million, almost 5 million Vitality stored up. So if I Rising Sun Kick, Harmonic Gambit just says we're going to draw upon that Vitality to use a bit of it to now our Rising Sun Kick can apply Aspect of Harmony. Just watch how it works. So we're just going to Thunder Focus Tea, Rising Sun Kick. You see there, it's ticking away. So I'm pretty sure that's the Aspect of Harmony dot. Yeah, you can see it there. And let's look at our overall meters. Did we do 4 million Vitality damage or Aspect of Harmony damage? No, we did not. However, look at our Vitality. We are now at 0 Vitality. It just empties our tank. Makes no sense, but I really hope that gets changed. Another thing that I hope gets changed is Manifestation. Now, Manifestation used to read 100% bonus damage, so it just doubled the damage. Now it reads 50%. Was this nerf warranted? Probably, yes. I honestly, if I'm being totally honest, because Chi Burst just hits every target. It's reduced beyond 5 targets, but it just does a ton of damage and a good bit of healing. It can add up in like a raid environment if you just place it perfectly. However, my problem with this is Chi Wave, in my opinion, for Mistweavers did not need this nerf. So I would like to see Manifestation split to where maybe they do Chi Burst does 50% more healing and damage, but Chi Wave does 100% more, just reverting that nerf for Chi Wave. Because if you look at even just the tooltip numbers for Chi Burst versus Chi Burst happens every 30 seconds, Chi Wave happens every 15 seconds. So in other talent scenarios, what's a good one? So like if you go Veil of Pride versus Xiao's Lesson, Veil of Pride halves the amount of time it takes to store up 10 charges of Shaylun's Gift. So there are certain synergies like this one where it changes from 20 to 10 stacks depending on which one you take, Veil of Pride versus Xiao's Lesson. But the tooltip here, it just shows how underpowered Chi Wave is. Yes, it's passive. I get that. Passive things are always going to be weaker, but this lands so much less than half of the damage and healing that Chi Burst hits, and it's capped at 7 targets. I usually just go with Chi Burst because it's just very powerful. However, like I said, I would like to see that changed with Manifestation. The next thing that I could see improving this hero talent tree and making it more viable for us Mistweavers is if they made Aspect of Harmony also work with Ancient Teachings. So Ancient Teachings, how it works is it does 170% of your damage as healing with some of your single target spells. However, it's a flat amount. So if you punch something with Tiger Palm for like 10k, this will do 17k worth of healing across up to 5 targets. That healing does not utilize your Aspect of Harmony, so you don't get bonus Aspect of Harmony healing from your Ancient Teachings, which is pretty annoying. So let me store up some Vitality, I guess, and then I can show you. All right, so we have a good bit of Vitality stored up. We're going to drop down to take some damage so that our Ancient Teachings actually does healing. And ooh, nice, we got an achievement. But let's do our Ancient Teachings rotation while we're in that Aspect of Harmony rotation, and then we can do a little bit of math so I can show you kind of what I'm talking about. So, okay, our Aspect of Harmony window is about to end. We're going to let all those dots and odds fade, and then we'll be able to see the overall healing and damage. So it's a little bit buggy right now. I'm clicking on the overall, and it's pulling up the just the normal healing done. But you can see from this, our Ancient Teachings did about 1 million healing, and in total, we had a little over 2 million healing from Gusts of Mist and Ancient Teachings and from some other sources. So about 1 million healing from Ancient Teachings, 2 million healing total. And then if we come to the overall meters, we can add on top of that about another million. So about 3 million healing total from non-Aspect of Harmony sources. 1 million of that was Ancient Teachings. So then we can do some math with the Aspect of Harmony hot. We can see that our Aspect of Harmony did about 154k with 360k over healing. So that's about 500,000. So you can see there that 500,000 is about a quarter, which is how much it does. So it does a quarter of your healing overall. 500,000 is a quarter of the 2 million. So if you just remove Ancient Teachings from the equation, we did about 2 million total healing overall with overhealing included outside of Ancient Teachings. So if they just made our Ancient Teachings also kind of proc this bonus heal from Aspect of Harmony, that could move miles in the equation of making us decide between Master of Harmony and Conduit of the Celestials. The final bit that I'm going to talk about with Master of Harmony is actually going to bridge us into the rest of the tree that I would like to see changed. The final change that I would like to see hit the Master of Harmony talent tree actually has to do with the Overwhelming Force. Now, I know I've harped on this one throughout videos all throughout the months, but how it reads is Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick, Tiger Palm deal 15% additional damage to enemies in a line in front of you. My problem with this talent is the bonus blackout kicks that you get from like cleaving with something like Ancient Concordance or stacking up with Teachings of the Monastery. They don't shoot a line through. So you're gonna watch this little line get shot through, and it's gonna hit that enemy whenever I press blackout kick. But let me stack up my Tiger Palms so that my blackout kick will hit 4 additional times, and you only see one line get shot through. Also, if you want to see what it looks like when cleaving, so we're going to hit, I guess we can face this way. So our Tiger Palms are shooting that line through. Let's hit all of these blackout kicks and watch only one line shoot through. It's very disappointing, and I think they've made a lot of strides in terms of making Blackout Kick feel very impactful all throughout Dragonflight, and a little simple step like changing this to work even if at a reduced rate with those cleaving blackout kicks. Although I think a lot of things that proc with blackout kick, they also proc at full value with things like Ancient Teachings, even with those cleaving and stacked up blackout kicks. They're blackout kicks, you know, they should work like a blackout kick works, and that does include Overwhelming Force in my opinion. Also, another change that kind of works similarly should be to Crane Style. So how this reads that bottom line of text: Spinning Crane Kick and Blackout Kick have a chance to kick up a Gust of Mist to heal one ally within 40 yards for your Mastery proc. It kicks up a Mastery proc. This happens about 50% of the time whenever you press Blackout Kick or Spinning Crane Kick. And so if I press this like 100 times, on average, if you repeat that like 1,000,000 times, on average, you'll hit about 50 Mastery procs in my testing. But the problem is that you're cleaving blackout kicks and stacked up blackout kicks, they seem to behave differently, and I haven't quite solved this, if I'm being too honest, when it comes to your Teachings of the Monastery blackout kicks. But how it seems to work based on my testing is that you can never get 2 Mastery procs from pressing Blackout Kick once. So if you stack up your Blackout Kicks to 4, so your next one will hit 4 additional times, and you press Blackout Kick, you can only get 1 proc of your Mastery from Crane Style in my testing. So I guess I can kind of show you what I mean. So every single one of those Blackout Kicks does have a 50% chance, I'm guessing, of proccing a Gust of Mist. However, you're only ever going to get 1 each time you press Blackout Kick. And this also has a chance not to proc. So if you stack up to 4 stacks of Teachings of the Monastery and then unleash all those blackout kicks, you can get unlucky and still proc 0 Gust of Mists. However, you're having what looks like 5 chances of 50% capped at 1 Gust of Mist proc per blackout kick. It's pretty. It to me, it just doesn't make sense. You're reducing the value of these cleaving blackout kicks, these bonus blackout kicks from Teachings of the Monastery, for really no reason. So either change the tooltip to say like and your base blackout kicks, meaning that like one, or change the tooltip to kind of indicate this that this is happening, or make it to where those bonus blackout kicks still pack that punch. If I stack up 4 stacks of teachings of the monastery and cleave onto 3 dummies, I guess I can go over to where 3 dummies are. If I go over here, if I stack up all of my teachings of the monastery procs, and let's reset all of our data, and I cleave onto 3 dummies while on my Jade Fire, then I'm hitting Blackout Kick a ton of times. However, if we look at the overall healing once it loads, you'll see how few Blackout Kick kicks kicked up a mastery. So right there, a Blackout Kick, we cast it once, we hit 15 times with 1 Blackout Kick, and I'm guessing I didn't even get a single mastery proc. That's kind of wild. Let's do it again. So Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm, Tiger Palm. We don't have Awakened Jadefire talented, so I have to press it 4 times, but let's unleash it once more. We hit, once again, 15 times with Blackout Kick, even though we only pressed the button once. Our Overwhelming Force hit 5 times. Oh, because of our Tiger Palms. So 4 Tiger Palms, 1 Blackout Kick. And then we look at the overall healing. We got a total of, drumroll please, 1 hit of Mastery. So to me, that is very underwhelming. Although they've made strides in buffing our Mastery, I think that is something that could see a little love or see a little fixing or just clarification in the tooltip. Same with Overwhelming Force. I think that one especially needs to see the it work how it reads, but those are just minor changes, but that kind of bridges us into the Mistweaver talent tree. And one thing that I see a lot in a discussion about our Mistweaver talent tree is just how good, how dense the like lower chunk of our talent tree is. I mean, you guys, the devs, have done an amazing job just putting so many excellent talents down here at the bottom of the talent tree. But that does kind of create some situations where you can't have it all in your talent builds, and I know that's literally the biggest like first world problem ever. I never thought I would complain about having too many good choices, but whenever you're building your talent tree out, you kind of have a lot of this like middle section that you just take in order to unlock the 3rd tier of your talent tree. And then by the time you get to your 3rd tier, you really just have to skip out on great talents in order to get other ones. So this just random raid build that I have loaded up, we kind of have to take 2 points of Secret Infusion in order to get to Invoker's Light, which is we kind of need this for our Yulon ramps to just be explosive. So we're missing out on a lot of great things like Legacy of Wisdom, things like Unison. We then can't like sneak 2 points into Jadefire Stomp Ancient Teachings if we want to get a little frisky, you know. And then like our Mythic Plus build, especially now that our Mastery's buffed, there's more of an incentive to take Resplendent Mists. But if you look at what you're having to give up in order to take it, you're having to give up Awakened Jadefire. Dance of Chi-Ji is just almost non-existent right now. You can't take Invoker's Light to have explosive Chi-Jis. Then you can't put points into Secret Infusion. It's just like there's just too much that you would like to have, but you're just really gutted at how many things are like 2-point nodes right here in this section and how things are kind of organized. So I don't really know how you guys can fix that or kind of mess things around. However, I will just point out that there are some talents that don't really look to be in the right place. So Peaceful Mending honestly has almost nothing to do with the rest of these talents other than maybe like Tear of Mourning, I guess. But Peaceful Mending looks to me like it belongs where like Crane's style is. So Peaceful Mending is a heavy single target healing talent. It's just in the way. It's just in the way. There's also what I call this like 2-point blockade in the middle of our tree. So Resplendent Mist, Secret Infusion, or Misty Peaks are all kind of in a clump here and just block off some great talents. But the problem is that alone isn't a problem. But the problem is that if you take these, they only route to 1 or 2 capstone talents. So Resplendent Mist either takes you to these T talents or Unison and Mending Proliferation. So these two talents are almost never taken, not because they're not good. I mean, Unison is great. Mending Proliferation is great. These T talents I've heard from PvP players are great. And a lot of us Mythic Plus players want to try these out, but it's like realistically we can't, because we'd have to give up a lot of talents because we have to spend so many to get there. So by either reducing these to 1 point, but then it's just like I understand why they haven't, because Resplendent Mist, especially now, is so good. They would never put this on a single talent unless it's a capstone talent. Secret Infusion so good, they would also do the same. They would never make it a 1 point talent unless they put it here. But Misty Peaks is good. It's great. It's very good. But it's just in this blockade too, and I think they could definitely shift it down here to where it's kind of connecting to Dancing Mists. They could shift these two talents over to the right a bit and kind of scrunch everything to the middle a bit and make like Resplendent Mist connect to these, all three of these, and make Secret Infusion connect to like Invokers, Rising Mist, Tear of Morning, and Unison Mending Proliferation. Just like creating more of a web. So like now if I wanted to, I could technically like drop Legacy of Wisdom if I wanted to be a little frisky and put a point with Resplendent Mist into Invoker's Delight and, you know, go crazy. Also, I think the reliance on Shayloon's Gift is a little strong. I do think you kind of have to dive all in or not at all. So what I mean by that is in Mythic Plus, we have to put 3 points into Shayloon's Gift. Although it's 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here, you need it to hit 5 targets. And in order for it to hit 5 targets, you need to put a point here and you need to put a point here. So if they just baked in Legacy of Wisdom into Shayloon's Gift, basically just nowadays making it hit 5 targets at all times, that would be unreal. Even if they did kind of remove this cast time reduction, that would be so good and just free up a lot of space. So that is kind of everything that I would like to see change. Oh, also one last thing is I had it written down for Ancient Teachings to be actually buffed up to 170% like you guys said, but you did that, so thank you so much. Ancient Teachings is unreal, so much fun to play around for us players, and I'm happy to see it get buffed, even if it's just already pretty powerful. Now that we're being tilted more into a mastery world in Mythic Plus, having bonus value on top of Ancient Teachings kind of makes sense to kind of compensate for that. But guys, that's going to do it for my wish list. If you're a dev and you're watching, once again, you're cooking, you're doing a great job. These are just minor things and just wants, not as much needs. There are some in there that are kind of like bugs that I think exist, but most of them are just like my personal experience. But if you're not a dev, thank you so much for watching this video. I like to make these because it kind of gets my brain moving, churning, you know, thinking about, oh, what would I change if I were in charge without taking things too crazy and making things broken. I think these simple changes are just fun to come up with, but I'm excited to see if I missed anything that you guys think could just be changed. Like maybe some of you guys want Healing Elixir to go back to an on-demand pressing button instead of a passive thing, just like Zen Pulse. Maybe some of you guys don't like the Zen Pulse change. I don't know why not. I love the Zen Pulse change, but maybe you don't. But guys, let me know all that down in the comments below, and also make sure that you like this video while you're down there and double check that you're subscribed, because we're coming up on 10,000 subscribers and YouTube has been unsubscribing people lately. I know because it's happened to me, unsubscribing me to people that I watch literally every single day, like Kit Boga and stuff, so I had to go and resubscribe. So make sure you're subbed. Also, a big shout out to the patrons of this channel. This would not be possible. I would not still be making videos today if it weren't for these guys. So thank you so much to the guys on screen. And if you want to see your name alongside them, check out that link down in the description below. But guys, thank you so much for all the support. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for more War Within content because it is definitely coming. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.